Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
To remove the driver's side wiper arm, you can leave the hood down, use a small flat-bladed screwdriver, and gently pry up in this plastic cap. Find the edge, pull it off. There's a 14mm nut under here. Use a 14mm socket, extension, and ratchet. Loosen this up. That off. Then we can lift up on the arm. And now I'll wiggle it back and forth. And it should come right off of the wiper arm shaft. Open the hood, we'll go inside, pull the release. Find the safety latch, release that. Prop rod is under the hood. It's got two positions, one position here and then a service position here. It opens further. Passenger side wiper arm has two mounting nuts. They're 14mm. I'm going to use the 14mm socket and ratchet again. Loosen that one up. Loosen this one up. You might need to hold the wiper arm. Thread it off, it popped right off. Just the spring action of the wiper arm. Lift off the windshield and put it aside. To remove this side corner trim, this will be the same on both sides. Pry it up with a plastic prying tool. You can buy this from 1aauto.com. Once it's up, you can slide it out. Put it aside. There's two push clips on both sides that need to be removed. You can use a small flat-bladed screwdriver, pry it up, pull the clip out. If the center part comes out, that's okay. Just push it back in to reuse it. The center cowl piece is clipped along the edges and then it slides up under the window glass. So we're going to unclip it and slide it out this way. And kind of go in underneath, push the clips in. So that one's loose. And go in and find all the clips. Might be easier to use the plastic trim tool to push the clip in, push it up. Slide it from underneath the windshield. Oop, I think this one clipped back in. Yep, it did. Make sure these stay clipped out. Put that aside. Plug the wiper motor. The lock for the clip is underneath the bottom. Squeeze it up. Pull the connector off. This wiring harness should be clipped into here. Somebody's had it apart before, so the clips are a little bit broken, but you'll have to pry this clip out of here. You'll have to either slide this off or cut the electrical tape. Be careful not to cut the wires. Somebody's already had this apart. It'll come off here. There should be a clip here, it's missing, and then there's this clip here. We just get the wiring harness out of the way. There's a 10mm bolt here, one here, and then one here and here that's holding the wiper transmission to the car. We'll use a 10mm socket, extension, and ratchet. Remove these bolts. We'll lift the wiper transmission out of the car. It's sitting on a stud just under here, so we'll pull that off. We need to remove the lower cowl panel. There's 9 10mm bolts holding it in place. We need to remove all these bolts and then slide it out of the engine compartment. Use a 10mm socket, extension, and ratchet. Clearance. I'm going to remove this bracket. There's 2 10mm bolts. Lift it out of the engine compartment. Flop these down and over. My self-clearance. Front O2 sensor is located at the rear of the engine, at the bottom of the exhaust manifold, just before the catalytic converter. You follow the wire over. Connector is located right there at the back of the engine. Before we remove the O2 sensor from the exhaust, we need to unplug it from the harness. So we're going to follow the wire from it, sitting in this little guide to keep it away from things that pop it out. Follow it over to the connector. It's hard to see because it's down behind the engine. You can just make it out where it is. You're going to have to push the lock. It's on the body side of the connector, and then separate it out. I'm going to bend this wire guide out of the way so I have more room to work, and I'll just bend it back when I'm done. There it is. I'll spray some rust penetrant. Try to help remove the O2 sensor. At the end of this O2 sensor socket, you can put a 3/8 drive. Slide it over the O2 sensor. I got it loose, but I need to keep moving it so you can see. There it is. There's our O2 sensor. We're going to reuse our O2 sensor since it was working fine. We just wanted to show you how to take it out, but you do want to put some, make sure you put some anti-seize on here. Copper works the best for exhaust stuff. It's high heat. Don't get it on the sensor tip. Try to get it just on the threads. Sometimes a brand new oxygen sensor will come with anti-seize already on it. If it doesn't, just add your own. Reinstall this into the exhaust. Thread it in as far as I can go by hand. Tighten this up. You'll tighten it just enough, you'll feel the gasket crush on a new one. Since this one is used, it'll go in a little bit. Make it tight. That should be good there. Just don't want it to leak. Exhaust. And then we can plug the connector back in. So we'll plug the connector back in. It's keyed, it will only go in one way. Click when it locks into place. And that wire holder I bent out of the way, I'm going to bend back roughly where it was before. And we'll clip the wire into there. The O2 sensor is replaced. We've got our lower part of the cowl panel, the steel piece. These little air guides are folded over so they'll fit under the windshield. Slide it into place. Start reinstalling the bolts. I'll just go along and start them all by hand, and then I can come back with the socket and ratchet and tighten them all. Push up that door, snap it in place. If it'll get tight, I'll stop. Clip this little door back. Tighten this one up. Install the support bracket. It's got a little tab that fits in there. Get this bolt caught here first. Reinstall the wiper transmission. So this little pin here is going to go into this rubber grommet up here. Push it up into place. Push it into that rubber grommet. Oops, that wants to pop out. So let's see. Took it off. I'm going to push it onto here. And then we can hook it in this way, just like that. Line it up with the mounting holes. Got our bolts. Get this one started. Start the other ones. Tighten these all up. Feel them get tight, and I'll stop. Reinstall the harness for the wiper motor. So this clip is kind of broken, but it does go in here. There's a missing clip here. You clip it back into place. This goes through this opening here. This is normally clipped into here. And then there's a final clip here. And then of course, plug it in. It's keyed, only going one way. It will click when it locks in place. So the plastic upper cowl cover, it's got some little tabs here that are going to slide underneath the windshield, the edge of it, and then clips in the front that will clip down into the metal. So you have to get up into position, put it over the wiper arms, and we're going to slide it up, push it along the edge and slide it over the glass like that. And then it will clip down into place. Place your push clips. Do that for both sides. Clip these little corner pieces back in place. So that part will go underneath the windshield, and these will clip into the plastic here. Slide them underneath, clip them in place. Do the same for both sides. Passenger side wiper arm in place. There was a little dust line here where the wiper blade was, so I'll use that as a reference point. Roughly right about there. There's some spring tension to this, it's pushing it back up, but I'll install the nuts. I'll just tighten these down. They get tight. I don't want to break off the studs off the wiper transmission. Reinstall the driver's side wiper, arm and blade. You could do this with the hood down, with the hood up, it's all right. Just get it in place. Reinstall the nut, tighten it up. If I feel it get tight, I'll stop. I don't want to break the stud off. And reinstall the cap. Just pushes into place.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.